The book, The Great Good Place. Cafes, coffee shops, bookstores, bars, hair salons, and other hangouts at the heart of a community is a piece of sociological literature which comments on the necessity of escaping a busy work and home life and finding solace in spaces to socialize and release yourself. In this piece of literature, its author, sociologist Ray Oldenburg, outlines 3 primary spaces within an individual's life. Each has different norms, values, and contributions to a person's social life, with the first place being home, where an individual must take care of themselves or their family by doing chores and upkeeping the area. The second place being work, where an individual must follow a strict hierarchy and maintain a professional personality. While both of these spaces are mandatory for life, Oldenburg proposes the existence of a third space, which is optional but crucial for both mental and social development. This third space is an area for informal interaction, where individuals may socialize with diverse groups of individuals and release their true selves without the presence of societal hierarchy or pressure to conform to a role. Typically, this space took the form of a free space, such as a cafe or bar. However, in the new, current modern era, a new form of third space has arisen within the sport community, this being the climbing gym. Climbing gyms provide a sense of community, a source of conversation and friendship, and a break from societal norms, which matches them very well to the concept of a third space. However, climbing gyms also provide evidence of the sociological tensions created by the commercialization of the climbing culture and the overall over-commercialization of societal meeting areas. Ultimately, despite its incredible potential as a third space, the climbing gym has a pay-to-play nature, which raises critical questions regarding the socioeconomic inclusivity and accessibility of the climbing community and modern meeting places in general. A third space is typically characterized by 8 points. It is a neutral ground with no hosting pressures on an individual. It is an area where all are equal and level regardless of their work or home standing. Conversation is the focus of these areas, and there are often regulars who include newcomers in conversations to make them feel welcome. The spaces are often walkable and accessible to all, and the focus is on the conversation, so the decor is not flashy. The mood of the space is also playful, and it really gives a sense of being a home away from home, where all are welcome and free to be themselves. This combination of factors makes third spaces a key for proper social interaction, and they lead to a strengthening of personalities and communities. Interactions create a bridging capital, which allows you to interact with individuals of different ages, professions, or backgrounds. The leveling effect also creates new interactions which typically would not be attainable, such as a student interacting with a business owner on a very even playing field, which gives both sides a more diverse sociological view. The leveling effect also gives rise to political discussions from all sides without judgments, which provides individuals with new views on controversial issues and can remove the effect of echo chambers. Aside from the diverse interactions, the community aspects of a third space also allow for topical information to be shared about interests and community happenings. However, the most important aspect of a third space is its allowance of an individual to be their true self, regardless of social standing or social pressure. Third spaces allow individuals to relax and express their interests, backgrounds, opinions, and personalities without judgment, and it also makes them feel comfortable and accepted. This area has historically been found in cafes, libraries, churches, all very social and public spaces. However, unfortunately, the prevalence of these spaces is decreasing as suburbia sprawls, walkability decreases, and individuals become more accustomed to staying at home due to modern comforts such as TV and video games. This has led to a loss of community strength and individual social capabilities or perspectives, and it also creates political fragmentation and echo chambers due to a lack of outside views, which can increase radicalization and conflict. This loss also induces a sense of loneliness in individuals, as they can only find social outlets in their family or in a structured and professional work environment. However, despite this loss of spaces, a new type has arisen among young individuals who seek an area to relax, be themselves, chat with others, and exercise. Climbing gyms are more than just a weekend activity. For climbers like me, they provide a space to work, climb, and interact with a wide variety of individual personalities. Climbing gyms share various aspects with the concept of a third space, the first being the aspect of leveling that they provide. In a climbing gym, you climb alongside doctors, business owners, students, baristas, and anybody else who enjoys the sport and is able to do it, with the gym removing all aspects of this social standing. This allows you to interact with individuals at face value, with no concern about who they are, what they do, and your only focus being on the conversation. This leveling effect also adds a layer of ease to the conversations which occur in climbing, as you feel no anxiety or nerves about talking to somebody on an even playing field. Speaking of conversations, the gym is also an area where conversation is a massive focus, because despite being a largely physical space, climbing requires intellect and careful consideration to solve whatever route you are attempting. This leads to climbers beginning conversations over shared projects, which is a climb that you repeat again and again and again, with the hope of completion. Climbers also share their sequences of moves on climbs in an act called sharing beta, which is often the precursor to many conversations at the gym. Through breaking the ice via level playing field and shared expectations, it allows climbers to speak freely without judgment and with less social pressure, which exactly describes the environment that Oldenburg theorizes in his literature. To further the similarities, there is often a group of locals who are close to the staff or part of the staff at the gym, and they always talk to newcomers, show them around, and make them feel welcomed to the premise. The vibe of the gyms is also incredible, as the mood is playful and fun since everybody is just happy to be out climbing. This combination of factors makes climbing gyms a true home away from home for its frequenters, and it gives its clientele a true sense of belonging in this home away from home. And yet the warm and welcoming atmospheres of the climbing gym is currently under threat from the ever-growing presence of extreme commercialization. Large gyms buy out their local competitors to add to their chains, and the community of equality and equity is replaced by a gym with an economic filter which diminishes its nature as a third space and replaces it with a gentrified commercial hub. At my current local gym, the price for a 1-month student membership is above $100, which poses a very significant barrier to those who wish to participate in the sport of climbing. This is representative of a larger issue in modern day climbing, over-commercialization, which takes away from opportunities as well as the potential to have a climbing gym as a third space. Firstly, the high price barrier, which surpasses $100 a month in some gyms, as I just mentioned, acts against the leveling concept of third spaces. Despite the apparent equalization of roles, most individuals at the climbing gym are all from a upper class to middle class background due to the high entry fee, which removes the concept of a true third space, which is meant to allow individuals from all diverse backgrounds to enter and intermingle freely. Additionally, many gyms wish to cater to this upper class via adding a gentrified premium aesthetic to modern gyms, where the focus becomes the in-gym cafe and boutique, instead of the conversational aspect of sharing beta and meeting fellow climbers at the gym. This also attracts a crowd of tourists, who often outnumber regular customers, resulting in a loss of culture in the gym as it caters to single-time customers over the creation and maintenance of a highly tightly knit community. Even the conversational aspect of the gyms is reduced as climbing companies develop beta sharing apps like Kaya or Hold Up. This removes the primary way of meeting individuals in the climbing gym, as instead of bonding over a climb, you simply watch somebody else doing the climb instead on your phone, which entirely removes the main social aspect. This shift from gathering place to commercial area represents the rising cost of connection in the modern era through a sports lens. By raising prices, we discriminate against all those who cannot overcome a monetary barrier, creating an aesthetic and a private area for interaction, which strays gravely from the true concept of a third space. To wrap up this video essay, the current social trend of commercialization and gentrification is a massive threat to Ray Oldenburg's concept of a third space, which we investigated through modern climbing gyms in this essay. The base concept of a third space is an area where individuals are meant to gather and socialize as themselves, with no hierarchy, no judgment, and certainly no barriers to participation. The potential of climbing gyms as third spaces is immense. We see community, new friendships, and the erosion of status and the sharing of thoughts and ideas, all being shared and enjoyed through a love of climbing. And yet despite this, the communal nature of climbing gyms and many third spaces is currently being threatened by the gradual growth of commercial enterprises. This is seen everywhere, from overpriced coffees to high gym membership prices. And yet they all share one thing, a monetary filter on participation in what is meant to be a communal event. This erases the sharing of diverse backgrounds, and while there may be some false sense of an authentic community in climbing gyms, you're only really forming bonds with those who are privileged enough to participate in an activity that has become a luxury in the modern era. If we wish to preserve the third space that climbing gyms must be, we must focus on their inherent community that they can build, and not the profit that they can bring in.